Hi y'all, this is part 5 of my video dealing with tips to help children be their authentic selves. I want to start by saying we have often heard that children are to respect adults and be courteous to adults. But how often do we hear that adults need to respect children? Children need to be told please and thank you and I apologize and things like that. Just like we expect it from them, we should extend it to them as well, because they are no less special than we are, no less valuable than we are. Because they're children doesn't mean that they should not get appropriate respect and courtesy given to them. And also, I had a dear friend of mine years ago. This woman told my friend that she had reprimanded her daughter, the woman's daughter, because the daughter had used curse words. And so my friend reasonably asked her, "Do you curse?" I guess she was talking in particular in front of her children. And the woman, pretty much said yes. And my friend said to her something to the effect, "Well, if you curse, how can you justifiably correct your child for cursing?" So there's that age-old expression, lead by example. That's important. And then we have the parents who rebuke their children for lying. "Don't lie to me." And they get sometimes spanked for lying to their parents and guardians. Yet, in some households, when the phone rings in those that have landline phones, when the phone rings and some of the children answer, the parents or guardians will tell the child, "Well, tell the person I'm not here." And so that is, sending a message that is contrary to what a child has been told. So children do not do well at all with receiving mixed messages. So they don't have respect for that. They may obey you and be afraid to disobey you, but respect is more important and goes a lot further than fear. I had a situation where I worked with a woman, and she became a dear friend of mine, and she was living with a husband that was abusive to her. I'm not sure if it was physical, but I know he was verbally abusive on a regular basis. And as her oldest daughter got older, she recognized it, and she approached her mother one day about it. And I think the mother had been there living with that for years. And so the mother finally made a move to leave her husband, to separate from him, because of her daughter witnessing how her father was treating her mother. So she said, "I moved mainly spurred by my daughter's responses in witnessing and questioning me about why I continued to tolerate such." So her daughter was very crucial in her making that move out from that situation. And then I had another friend who was being abused by her husband. I believe his was mainly verbal as well. And her children, her daughters, witnesses. So she said to me, while she was still living in that circumstance, she said to me that her daughters, they obeyed her, but they didn't respect her because of what they saw in the household relative to how their dad treated their mom. So those things, are very impressionable upon children. Children are very impressionable. So I would, urge that you, very much monitor your own conduct relative to how you engage with your children, with love practices and so forth. And another thing about children, a lot of children do not effectively communicate. They have not been taught to do so. And so I would encourage you to have your children do public speaking, even in your home surroundings. Let them be vocal and express themselves, and let them know how to do it and to project. I've seen children, when they're dealing with adults, they have their eyes cast down. They don't do eye contact. Teach them to posture themselves in communication modes that show confidence, not arrogance or ego tripping and power tripping types of actions, but confidence that indicates they have healthy self-esteem, and teach them to broaden their vocabularies. There's so many kids that are stuck on using ebonics and slang expressions, and those are fine in their places when they're out with their homies and in the family environments and things like that, having fun with family get-togethers and gatherings. That's fine, but they need to learn how to express excellently with you know, different mixes of people and audiences, and how to do eye contact, and also teach children how to, be courteous and caring towards others. Maybe expose them to some homeless populations to show them how other people live and how to express care for those people and appreciation and realization that those people may have economic challenges, but they are treasures, they are precious, they are worthy. Just because they live the way they do does not mean that they are less than any other folks in the societal population. So teach them how to empathize with folks and not to be about going with bullying postures, and teach your children how to speak up when they recognize something is wrong, even when they recognize things that are not decent about you. Don't discourage them from, letting you know in respectful ways that doesn't seem like it, lines up with natural laws, or however children express in their own, childlike ways. Don't, keep children from letting you know that something about what you have done or said doesn't sit right with them. They may be in order when they say such things, or maybe not, but engage with them to work it out, situate it where you can come to some kind of agreement or some kind of resolution. Don't just, blow off what they're saying. Respect, their feelings and their emotions. And also teach them to apologize when they are wrong. However, also teach them how to stand their ground when they are certain that they are correct in certain stances. Let them know that they do not owe anyone any apologies for being their authentic selves. But of course, respect must be in the mix. And teach them to challenge things, to question, again, with respect. But they don't have to go along with everything they're told. They can ask questions and even tell folks, well, I disagree with what you're saying, and, Mr. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so, and, I need to think about that, and, maybe I won't come to the same conclusion. My parents taught me, my guardians taught me to be a critical thinker. They taught me to, explore other avenues. They taught me to think outside of the box. They taught me not to have a cage mentality. They taught me to pursue full freedom measures for my own individual style and my own individual journey and destiny. And I don't want to always go along with the crowd. I want to be of my own personal journey posture. So, it's very important to lead children in ways that don't have a controlling faction. You want to guide them, monitor them, discipline them, love them, show them caring and sharing and giving generosity to them, but also teach them how not to be at extremes, because balance being struck is so very, very important. And teach them to give to others, to share. But again, teach them to have restraints in their sharing and not to allow people to abuse their generosity and their kindness, because there are folks that would take people's kindness for weakness. Show them how to say no firmly and not to feel guilty about saying no. No, it has its place, as does yes. So show them how to balance their yeses and their nos, and to make sure that they don't let themselves be trespassed upon as far as their spirituality, their mentality, their bodies, and teach them to speak out when they feel like they're being mistreated, to let you know, and for you to take measures, not being indignant and ghetto in your conduct as far as addressing people who may mistreat your children or may be perceived as mistreating your children. So address them in ways that are firm, and sometimes you have to go the stern route. But I would not get, indignant and, get to the place where you may have handcuffs thrown on you for being belligerent and, overly reactive about how your children are treated. But let your children know that you are indeed their protector, and that you will go to measures that are, whatever it takes to lawfully address how your children are being treated by any adults, school situations, work situations. And also, I just want to share with the young people who are going into the workforces. Me, I have never had a boss. I have had managers, I've had supervisors, but no one has ever been the boss of me. That is not what the universe has put us here on this planet to be under, as far as subservient roles. Yes, I have to go by rules and regulations in the workplaces and policies. However, no one has ever been the boss of me. So teach your children they don't have bosses, they have supervisors and managers, and they are not less than, and they are not to be surrendering their souls and spirits and minds to any person, workplace, school places, wherever the case may be. You are not to surrender your identity. Maintain your core essence. You make some compromises because that's part of life. But you maintain and keep standing on your personal individual signature style postures. Thank y'all for listening. Bye now.